Hello Aries, welcome to your weekly tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is for the week of December 18th through December 24th, and we're just going to jump right in here and see what the message is. What is the energy that's coming through for Aries for this coming week? And we've got a Three of Wands. This is some beautiful, very balanced, very strong, assertive, kind of a spiritual fire, right? Some really great energy. Let's put that into some context with our Dove and Serpent spread. And, you know, that is going to include a mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card, whatever you want to call it. We're going to leave that right here. And we're not going to look at that until the very end of the video. So stick around to the end of the reading if you could. And we'll see if that might, you know, tie the reading together or give us the confirmation that we're looking for at the very end. So what we see here is water, major, earth, fire, 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 water, earth. So a lot of water, a lot of fire, some earth, a couple of majors. So the one thing that I do see lacking is the air element, right? There's no swords energy here, okay? I shouldn't have said there's no air. There's some air. There's no swords energy, which could tell me that there's a little bit of a lack of focus on the interpersonal stuff, right? A lack of focus on the social aspect of things, right? I don't think that the social part of life is really your focus right now, okay? And if I remember in your last week's reading, Aries, we had a lot of talk about energetic breakthroughs, a lot of fiery energy, a lot of kind of searching for that emotional connection with things, right? And here we see this Three of Wands. So this is kind of like your character, your integrity. This is like your spiritual fortitude, kind of. I think that this is, you know, after that energetic breakthrough happens, I think we had a tower moment probably last week. After that tower moment, I really feel like you're coming into this calm, assertive, very strong and powerful, but rather quiet and rather reserved kind of energy. It's like an inward confidence, right? And with the Three of Wands here, this is really about now you kind of absorbing all of this power, all of this fiery energy, and really using it to build up your fortitude, right? Your resistance against the kind of calamities of life, right? You're fortifying your spirit. So this fiery energy is within you. I think this is what you are feeling this coming week. It's really going to be about this kind of spiritual fire, this light that's giving you that sense of power, that sense of confidence, that sense of being open to possibilities with this Fool card that's crossing your path. This is that air energy that I misspoke about at the beginning, right? We do have this air energy. It's not swords, not the swords energy, but this is an even better air energy, right? The swords will typically talk about the kind of, it's very mental, very intellectual. It's very much about relating to other people and the interactions, the dynamics between us and others, okay? And on the mental plane, the intellectual plane, that's usually comes with a lot of miscommunication, a lot of confusion, a lot of conflict. I mean, that's just kind of, it's about argumentation a lot of times. But this air energy, this is different. This is the expansive air energy. This is, I don't know why probably shouldn't hold it sideways and let you see it there. So this Fool energy is really you taking advantage of these opportunities that are coming your way now. And I think this is, in a sense, opening yourself up to the possibilities, to opportunities, to new adventures, to this kind of light and free nature, this kind of, not carefree, but a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more willing to go out and take risks with the air energy, right? With the kind of, trying to reach out and connect with other people. So it could be this sense of networking, this sense of just being social again, kind of getting back out there into the world. And that comes with a sense of risk. That comes with a little bit of uncertainty, right? But this Fool energy doesn't have a lot of sense about it, right? It's not so concerned with the risks. It doesn't it's not even really aware that it's vulnerable. It's just expansive. It's just flowing outward. It's just really free, really carefree, and adventurous, right? With very little concern for consequences or for risks. But I said this energy is not indicating that you are being carefree or careless, right? Because we have that Three of Wands. So this is that spiritual fire, this consciousness, this lamp that's within you now, that's directing some of this Fool energy. Okay, so this is like a controlled chaos, kind of, right? This is a controlled risk, a controlled adventure. There are still a lot of uncertainties, a lot of variables, but I think that you're really coming from a place of a really strong character, right? A lot of integrity. And, you know, it's in that kind of sense where you're not going to put up with anything that is going to be detrimental to you. Right? You're going to be very outgoing, very expressive, right? Very expansive with this adventurous air energy. But you're going to have this spiritual fire behind you. You're going to have, and I don't know if we had this card in the last reading or not, but this is the Sun in Aries. You see, this card rules the Sun in Aries. So this is really all about you being that kind of pure, perfectly balanced Aries energy, right? So this card really is you in your most optimal state, right? The best version of your Aries energy is going to be coming forward. And it's going to be taking advantage of all of these, you know, foolish opportunities. And I think this is a really wonderful contrast. If I'm remembering your previous week's reading correctly, I think there was the need there for this connection. Now, we see some of this water energy. So I still want to address the water because I'm fairly sure water was an important factor last week. Down here beneath the surface, we see this Three of Cups. This, I think, is still showing this unconscious need, this more unrealized desire to connect with people on that emotional level. Okay? So I feel like this is getting stronger in you, this drive, this striving for the emotional connection. I think also this is the driving force behind some of this Fool air energy that we see. The driving force is really wanting to reach out and connect with people, really celebrate your relationships, celebrate your interactions with people, your connections, right? Celebrate others in your life, celebrate the love, the bounty, the abundance, the joy that is there, right? But this is as yet unrealized, and I think that this is still the motivating factor in some of your activities. You really want to have this celebration and this connection, and it's really a matter of taking full advantage of these two in order to realize this, right? So this is the energy pushing you forward, right? Air and fire, they're both very active elements. And beneath it all, we see the passive or magnetic water energy. This is what you're trying to gain. You're trying to gain this emotional experience, this emotional connection. And it's going to come by way of these kinds of actions, right? The Three of Wands and the Fool actions. What we see in the recent past, I think this really sums up last week's reading, the Ten of Wands. This is like that energetic breakthrough. This is the fire energy that has completely burned through its course, right? It's completely run down the tree of life, right? From the Ace all the way down to the 10. It's done its job. It's reached the end of its task there. Okay, so this I think is that breakthrough, the completion of that breakthrough, right? Going through that period, that cycle of the fire energy, right? It had to burn bright, it had to burn long, and it's reached the final stages of that. And I think you're coming out of this fire, probably that tower breakthrough period in your life, right? If that tower moment has happened already, then I think you're kind of seeing the tail end of that. You're starting to kind of catch your breath, starting to assess what that means for you, and then that fiery energy is becoming this balanced 3. Okay, so it's becoming the more potential. It's being, in some ways, transmuted from the physical fire, the energetic bodily fire, into, the martial fire, right, with the Tower card. into the more spiritual fire, right? The more essence, the more spirit, the more like on the soul level, right? And that's with the Three of Wands. So I think that you are coming out of that tower moment, the tower period in your life, and I think that's really going to transform the way that you approach life, the way that you really go after this Three of Cups connection, this feeling that you have. Now, the next couple of cards are court cards. The first one that we see is this Prince of Wands. This is at the top of the Path of the Dove. This is kind of what you're aspiring to. This is what you're looking toward. And I got to tell you, the Prince here is the air element of the suit of Wands. All the princes in the court represent the air energy. Okay, so this is some more of that air. This is the air that is being expressed through fire, right? Through the fiery energy. So it really is kind of a combination of these two, right? Fire and air. So this is the energy that is present with you right now in this coming week. And this is how you are hoping to express it. This is you literally taking advantage of that energy, using it, being active out in the external world, mingling with other people. This is the manifestation of the central core energy that we see. Okay. So I think this is your goal. This is your aspiration. You're hoping that you can take advantage of this fiery nature, this spiritual fire that you have, this confidence, this assertiveness, this stability, this integrity, right? This very strong sense of who you are, this Sun in Aries energy. And you're hoping to express that through the air, through the communication and connections with other people. To, be out in the world, mingling with others and forming bonds and connections. And again, the motivating factor for all of that is the emotional, the depth, the finding of meaning and celebration and joy in these interactions with other people. Okay, so I really feel like this is on your mind, that you're really motivated to kind of get out there and put this fiery energy to work, right? In the immediate future, we see a Prince of Pentacles or discs. Now, I wonder if this might be a particular person that we are close to, someone that you already have an established relationship with. It could be that this is, actually a future card, that maybe you're going to be establishing a certain type of relationship with this earth sign person or someone with a very, very practical and pragmatic, hardworking kind of attitude. Okay. And I think the connection here is through the prince aspect, the air aspect of both of these cards. They're both princes. They're both the air. So I think the connection is there with that communication, with that kind of networking. It could be, out on your foolish adventures, you come across this earth person here. And this could be someone with whom you have this sense of connection, or who the potential is there to establish this sense of connection, this deeper meaning, this kind of joy and celebration. This could already be someone in your life. But I think the focus is going to be on the relationship with this person, whether they're a new person or someone you already know, it doesn't matter. But this is the person, I think, toward whom all of this air and fire is going to be directed. Okay. And again, they may not be an earth sign person. They may be someone who is just very practical, very pragmatic, hardworking, really likes to feel things with their hands and know that they are creating things and that they are moving materials, right? So it could be an artist, it could be, someone in construction, it could be anyone really who has that kind of focus, who is very, very tactile, likes to work with their hands. But alternatively, they could just have very strong earth placement. Okay. Now moving over to the path of the serpent here, you see more of this fire energy, We see more of this fiery energy. And I think your general energy, which is represented by this Knight of Discs, is a little bit more impulsive than you're kind of aspiring to. With this Prince of Wands, this is a little bit more of, a little bit more balanced between just the raw energy and the kind of intellectual side of things. With the Knight here, it's really about the power. It's really about just kind of this impulsiveness, kind of a little bit of impatience going on. And I think as your general energy, I think this is showing us that you are Aries after all. So I think you do have the potential to be a little impatient or a little bit rushed or hurried, or there's this sense of urgency about things. I think now that this fiery energy has run its course with that Tower moment, with the Ten of Wands over here, and now you're starting to feel that in a more balanced, more spiritually uplifting, more kind of confident way with the Three of Wands, I think there is that risk of being impulsive, of being a little hasty, of rushing forward, right? So I think balance is really the key, and I think returning to this Three of Wands, this balance, this kind of being centered in this fire energy, and balancing it, of course, with some of this air energy, I think is the way to go. I think you have the kind of natural inclination to just rush out and do things, and that might be part of, as well, this impulsiveness of the Fool that we were talking about, right? The Fool just expands and expands and expands, isn't so concerned with consequences or with any risks involved. They just are fairly innocent and carefree, maybe a little bit careless in their expansion, right? And how much they want to experience and they want to take in. And I think it's kind of similar with the Knight of Wands in this position, in this situation. It could be a little bit of that sense of urgency that you have, right? Which is good because it's showing that this fiery energy is really building up in you, right? And it's really very high potential for activity and for growth and for all of this, the manifestation of this Three of Cups that we're talking about. But this could lead you into trouble as well. Okay, so this is just something to be aware of. And if you feel that you're getting too anxious or too impulsive, or there's too much of this sense of urgency, just try to dial it back a little bit, take a breath, Now, talking about this Earth person, we have a Four of Discs here, or Pentacles. And I think this, is obviously related to this Prince of Discs. The Four of Discs here is in the position of your relationships. So I think that there might be some kind of either a new dynamic to a current relationship, or this is a new relationship altogether. But I feel like it's going to be a relationship that really gives you a sense of stability. It really helps to keep you grounded. It could be that this person is just very, very practical and just kind of very hands-on, very earthy, right? Very physical, very much connected with the earth and very solid ground beneath them, right? And I think maybe that's going to inspire the same feelings in you. So this is a really good way to keep some of this fiery energy from running too wild. Okay, this is a way to keep yourself grounded. And I think it really is through this relationship, again, either that you already have or that's someone new. But I think the dynamic to the relationship is going to be new. Okay, so I don't think it's so much it's a new person. I think an existing relationship might be changing to have more of this stability or a more solid foundation. I don't know if it's something financial, if it's something with someone that you live with, or something like that. But I feel like teaming up with this person is going to inspire a little bit of this grounding aspect to your energy, right? And I think that's going to be very important to keep this fire from running too wild, especially with this Knight of Wands. Okay, so I don't know who this person is. Leave me some comments. Let me know if that is an actual person, if that's a new person, or if it's an existing relationship that is taking on a new dynamic, right? The next card that we see is very interesting. This is a major arcana card. This is the 11th mystery of the tarot, the Lust or Strength card. Good energy, right? Showing a lot of connections, a lot of passion, but also a lot of control. Okay, so this is really the control of this fiery energy. You're able to really harness it and not just let it carry you away, right? You're really able to hold the reins here and direct this to where you want to go. But it's in the position of your fears, worries, and concerns. So I'm wondering if we've kind of been building up to this with some of this fiery energy, especially when we got to the Knight of Wands, that there's this sense of urgency, of haste, of impatience, of impulsiveness. And maybe that is something that you are rather aware of presently. And it's a concern for you because maybe there isn't always the ability to stay grounded. There isn't always the desire even really to restrain some of that fiery impulsiveness. Okay. So I see that, with this card being in the position of your concerns and worries, I think that this is maybe a big factor for you, is this this lack of control possibly at times. Maybe you do know yourself well enough to realize that sometimes you do act impulsively. That sometimes you do let this kind of enthusiasm, this kind of passion just run away with things. Okay? So there is this focus on trying to keep it under control, trying to keep all of this fiery energy from running wild. Okay? And this is a major arcana. This is a heavy influence. I think this is something that maybe this kind of impatience or impulsiveness has gotten you into trouble in the past, So I think this is a concern. But harnessing this fiery energy, harnessing this passion, this vitality, this confidence, right? This really active energy is going to lead you to this Six of Cups, this emotional connection. This is the full realization of this 3, right? We have the 3 and the 6, right? So it's doubled. That potential, that drive for connection is going to find its resonant partner in the external world, right? It's going to manifest outwardly, right? We have the 3, and then we mirror that in the external. We get another 3, right? So we get the 6 of Cups. So you are going to be forging these connections. This is the water that we've been looking for, I think, last week as well. And I think it really is through the control of this fire energy. You're feeling this intensity. You have to feel it. You have to utilize it. Take advantage of the opportunities, but you also have to keep it under control. And when it starts to maybe get a little too fierce, a little too intense, you need to pull it back. Get centered, get grounded. I think through whatever this earth relationship is going to keep you grounded, right? Whoever this person is, could be a friend, family member, coworker, could be a new acquaintance, a new romantic relationship. But I feel like they're going to have a certain kind of stability to them that is going to inspire the same qualities in you. All right. So this is a great way to end the path of the serpent, finding this water connection. It really is kind of a complete fulfillment of this potential, this drive, this intense kind of a striving that we felt on the path of the dove. Now here we see it fully realized on the path of the serpent. So I think this is a really wonderful way to end this part of the reading. Let's go to the mystery card, confirmation card, bonus card. Let me make a little room here. I don't know what this could possibly be. There are, it could be a 9 or a 10 of cups. It could be a 9 or a 10 of discs. It could be, a princess of wands, or a princess of cups even, I think would be appropriate. But let's take a look. Well, this is that emperor. And I think we got the Emperor last week too, and the Emperor is your patron card. This is the card that is showing you with really unlimited possibilities. This is the Emperor that is in complete control of the fiery energy, the passion, the lust, right? The love, the enthusiasm. That very active fire energy has now been harnessed. It's been sublimated maybe a little bit into the spiritual fire. Right? It's in complete control of their faculties, complete control of their energy. And I think this is the way of moving forward. I think that this, which I think in the last reading too, is just this, the confirmation that, look, you are in control of your life. You have the strength and the confidence. You have the skills and the talents. You've got the desire, the will, the passion. You've got the empathy. You've got you've got all of this watery potential, right? For these real connections to really deep meaning in your life. Okay. And it's really just about harnessing all of this fire that we're seeing. And I think that through that tower moment, if you remember the first reading, we had that tower, that breakthrough energy. I think it's about going with that, absorbing it, really letting that manifest and come to fruition and getting a handle on it, right? So I think this is a wonderful confirmation. And again, this is your patron card. This is all Aries all day, the perfect balance of the Aries energy. And this is, the spiritual as well as the physical or mundane aspect of the Aries energy, right? So we know that fire kind of plays a double duty. Fire represents the spirit. It also represents the manifested element of fire, right? The will, the creativity, the passion, that confidence, that assertiveness. And I think you are really coming to grasp the whole of it, and you're learning to use the one form of fire to realize the other form of fire. Okay, so there's a real balance, and this is a real kind of calm assertiveness and confidence that I feel with you. And I think this is the week that you're really going to find this balance with all of this energy, and find the kind of grounding that you need as well to keep all of this kind of under control, to keep a handle on it. All right. Aries, we're going to take a look at this in the extended reading a little bit. If you want to become a member to this channel, you can click on the link in the description box below. This was your weekly tarot reading for December 18th through 24th, and I'll see you again.